Hey. This is one of the best songs in our rotation. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Jack's Portal Sports, 11 months of the slightly delusional club. Slightly. Would you want Jordan Poole? I don't know why I gave you that voice. No, not at $30 million. All right, guys. All right, some important updates. I have surgery tomorrow. I don't know the time just yet. I'm guessing they call me today with the time for the surgery tomorrow. Surgery's 2 hours. And I don't know if that means like I'm there for 2 hours, like and then the surgery itself's like 30 minutes, or if I'm out for 2 hours. I'm not entirely sure. Stream the surgery. Yeah, I'm sure they would love that. So probably no Bleacher Report stream tomorrow, obviously. That goes without being said. I'm gonna say almost certainly no slightly early on Friday, although I'll give like a 5% chance. My only problem is I might have to stay somewhere else just for the first few days because again, I'm on the 3rd floor, so we'll see. But there's a chance I can make it up the stairs, and I'm ready to go Friday morning, and I'm just like on pain meds. Penile enlargement surgery. I don't need that. They offer that? Might have to get some insurance and see what's up with that one. anyways, so surgery tomorrow. Got it all figured out. Was a pretty stressful venture, but got it all figured out. And is it reasonably priced? Let's just say I got it all figured out. And they've already like put in my meds. They've already put in the meds I'm gonna take. Like at Walgreens, they're already ready to pick up. It's funny because one of them, this is how you know I'm gonna be zooted. One of them says controlled substance on the prescription. So we'll see. I'm a little bit anxious. I mean, there's no two ways around it. I'm a little bit anxious. I haven't had a surgery in a long time. You know, and I'm an anxious person, so all of the things are in my brain right now. Schedule 1 in real life, absolutely. Absolutely. All of the things are floating through my brain. Like, what if I don't wake up from the anesthesia? What if they operate on the wrong ankle? What if they accidentally do the wrong surgery? They give me a knee surgery and now all of a sudden I have a knee problem. Like, all of those things are going through my brain. But no, I'm not. Once I'm there, I'll be fine. I'm just ready. And so there'll be probably no slightly early on Friday, and then definitely no slightly early on Monday because I got a post-op in the morning. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. The only surgery I ever had, I woke up drinking pomegranate juice. I hate pomegranate juice. Oh yeah, I mean, the funny thing about the surgery is you're there, anesthesia, they make you count backwards from 10, you get to 7, and next thing you know, you're in the next room. There's no dreaming, there's no, oh, I know I was asleep. It's just, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm hopeful I'll be able to stream game 4. I mean, for sure game 5. I mean, after Monday, so my post-op's Monday. I'll go in with a stint and all that. They'll make sure everything's all right, and then they'll put me in a cast, and then I'm just kind of like chilling for like the next 3 weeks, I think, is my next follow-up. So after Monday, I'm pretty much locked in. Yeah, I'll stream the game tonight for sure. Also, another update. Let's see if you guys notice. Yeah, I am letting my beard grow out, by the way. It's also because last time I tried to shave my beard myself, it was so bad I just shaved my face clean. So I go to a guy to get my beard shaved. And I cannot do that right now. So we'll see. I really don't want to grow it out, to be honest with you, but when you go out of town, I'm not going out of town anymore, brother. I'm not going out of town anymore. What's your Uber Eats catalog looking like? I'll have some shit queued up for sure. Now, I don't want to turn into a fat ass. I've been good the last few days. I gave myself the weekend to sort of pig out and fucking sulk. But I've been good the last few days. I got some HEB hot and readies I just throw in the microwave. Some fruit. Had a protein bar today. You know, I got a nice little like workout yesterday with my cables. I'm not trying to turn into to Jabba the Hutt. What was that motion again? You guys notice a difference right off the rip? Anyone? We can start a casserole carousel for you. No more Bing. That's right. Bing has been eliminated. After the penis incident a couple days ago, you guys didn't see it, but I did. We're done with Bing. We're done with Edge Chrome takes up so much. I don't know. I just don't like Chrome. I don't know what it is. I like Opera. I just do. It's what I use. No, I like the idea. Somebody gave it to me, and I would shout them out if I remembered who it was in the chat. Exactly. But we might do like once I get my cast on Monday and it's like my cast for a while, we might do like I'll sign it for donation, stuff like that. Like just fun shit. I don't want to live forever. Clammy's not a word? I know it's EY. Clap. Brandy. No. Mandy. What the fuck kind of a guess is that? That's the worst guess of all time. What was that guess? So upset at myself for that. Jesus. Oh, I like D as the first letter. Delac. Plaid. Platty. Plateau. Plato? No love for Plato's closet? Clad. Clado. Clada. Dada. It might be. I'm just thinking of the order of words here. We might get a second A. Wait, is this going to be a hard word? I did take some pain meds just a little bit ago, so bear with me here today. Blade. Plaid? It couldn't have been beard. All right, connections. Here we go. I don't want a hint. I never want a hint. Strut. Show off. Strut. Bluster. Okay. Interesting. Leprechaun. Leprechaun. Rainbow. Elves. Rooster, crow. Okay. Asterisk. 2020 NBA Finals. Asterisk. No. Strus. Was Max Strus on the 2020 Heat? He was, right? Okay, what could be with banana? It's a leprechaun at the end of the rainbow, right? Isn't that the thing? Isn't it a lucky leprechaun? I can't think of anything else. Eyebrow. I am expecting a call during this stream, by the way. Elves. God damn, I'm not getting anything here. What the fuck? I'm getting nothing, folks. Nothing. Counting Crows. Count Dracula. Lucky Leprechaun. I think like characters. Count Dracula. Like, is there a horror, like a B-list horror movie about a leprechaun? I'm looking at the chat. Elves and Leprechaun connections kill me today. All right, it seems as though you guys don't get it either, so that's good. Parents is parenthesis shorted. So parents parenthesis. Things that are curved. Banana. A rainbow. An eyebrow. And a flight path. That's one of the dumbest ones we've had. Honest to God, that's one of the dumbest ones we've had. Ways to mark. All right, so parenthesis, asterisk, and then what? Ways to mark dialogue. Number? Oh, citations, parents, asterisk, number, and then what though? I knew it was going to be dagger. I knew it was dagger. Here comes the rooster. Count, leprechaun, rooster, elves. Cereal mascots. What's the count? Man, that's some boomer ass 1980s shit, man. Lucky Leprechaun is Lucky Charms. What's the rooster? Count Chocula? I don't even know what the fuck. And I'm not even just saying this as a joke. I don't know what the fuck that is. Show off, crow, strut, bluster. That one was tough. Aren't you from the 1970s, though, Gramps? Do I look like I was from the 1970s? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Do strands? I'm open to playing more games today because I'll be real, guys. I've got nothing else to do. Like, hey, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys. I got nothing to do. Find theme words to fill the board. Theme words say highlighted in blue when found. Drag or tap letters to create words. If tapping, double tap the last letter to submit. Theme words fill the board entirely. No theme words overlap. Find the spangram. Spangram describes a puzzle's theme and touches two opposite sides of the board, maybe one or more words. Spangram highlights in yellow when found. An example of a spangram with a corresponding theme words: lime, fruit, banana, apple. Need a hint? No. Cock. Okay. Aura? No, almost. Recode. So I can go any direction, huh? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Sadly, when will the fascists be rounding you up? They'll have to kill me. This game requires too much brain power your ancient brain can't handle. Guys, I'm on pain meds. It has nothing to do with age. I'm as wise as I've ever been. So wait, okay, but my question is, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like I can go a bunch of different directions, right? But no, what I'm saying is it's not like it's a standard. You know what? Can I read the instructions again? Okay. All right. That's what I was wondering. Okay. This requires a lot of brain power that, honest to God, I might not have currently. I have it genuinely, but not currently. Lust. You know, this isn't a bad guess. We're on the board. Vital. All right. Hey, I'm just getting some words out there. Just want to see a few go down. Cure. Yeah, give me a fucking hint. Code? What? Co-ed? What am I? Oh. Oh. I don't know. All right, this one might be. This game might be cooked. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Deco. Brutalist. Are we doing like? Dude. Oh wait, brutalist. Brutalism. Brutalist. Deco. What are some others architecture styles? Right? That's what it is. Am I wrong? Arc. Architecture. Classical, I see it. you out of your fucking mind? I would have said Baroque, but honestly, I wasn't confident in my spelling. And just and revival, yeah. Yeah, I was going to get there, guys. All right, wait, what am I missing with the classical? How do I get there? That was all with no help. Mind you, that was all with no help. Wait, that one was kind of fun, actually. That one was kind of fun. All right. Let's maybe that one stays. Maybe that one stays. Hypothetically, if Nico knew he'd get flagged in hindsight, was a Luka trade a good trade? Do we talk about Luka today? Because I'm not going to lie. I've been pissed off. I got pissed off yesterday. But honestly, I don't really want to get into it because honestly, I just... Sports connections? Okay, I agree with you guys. It goes back to the squat video. It's like, guys, he's a fucking professional athlete, man. It's embarrassing for him. It is, I'm telling you. It's embarrassing. Like, it is embarrassing to him that we're like throwing a parade because he's squatting. He's a professional fucking athlete. Ali, Frazier, Creed. What's another I'm so bad with boxers, I don't know. Run, jog, walk, sprint. Seabiscuit. Apollo Creed, Muhammad Ali. Spar. Wait. Sports movies. Seabiscuit, Miracle, Creed. What's the another one? Was Ali a sports movie? Todd Frazier. Joe Torre. Joe Montana. Joe Torre. Joe Buck. Joe Frazier. First four letters of Big Ten team names. Easy, man. Easy. Hello, Unk. How are you today? Doing great. Y'all saw how bad Lamy Yamal played? Yeah, he'll be fine. It's just the defense. Who'd they play again? Sorry, I'm on a medicine brain. Who did they play? Who did they play? Portugal. That's right. That's my bad. Portugal. Duh. Medicine brain. Portugal just, their defense was so they just threw a lot of looks at him, right? He didn't have the space that he was looking for, and he had just had some bad first touches. It just was an out-of-character game for him, and I think he'll bounce back in a lot of ways. But that's how Portugal plays. They speed you up, so your first touch might be a little bit rushed, might be a little bit hard. That's just because of the speed of Portugal's defense. And then you always have to have Portugal's counter in the back of your mind. So it's just one of those mind games, right? And, Ronaldo had a great play on him. And again, it was just kind of that carelessness. He's wandering around in front of the box. Ronaldo comes out of nowhere and tackles him. So, yeah, I mean, he'll bounce back. Was that good? Was that good or no? I did see, the only reason I said that is because I did see a clip on Twitter of Ronaldo tackling it away. He was like a foot in front of the box. Good take, stick to soccer? Hell yeah. Let's go. Football. Thinking about doing a rec league with my friends. How competitive are beginner leagues? I wouldn't tell anyone to play basketball at this point in time. You're asking me at the wrong time. Don't play basketball. Yeah. We're going to do a slightly mock draft. Could we look at the one you did last year? Well, we do a community mock draft. We don't do like a mock. I don't do like a mock. We do like a community mock. I do not watch Kyrie stream, no. What's my relationship with Flight Reacts? I've never watched one of his streams, but I do see like TikTok funny moments, and it's pretty fucking funny from time to time. Same thing with what's that guy's name? El Pollo? Is that his name? El Pollo? Have never watched one of his streams, but I see his clips on TikTok from time to time, and they crack me up. I don't know, and I just say I don't know what he talks about. I don't know if he's with these streamers. Sometimes I don't know. All right, but to answer your question though, seriously, Jaden, or not Jaden, sorry, who was Thomas? I guess it depends. Like me and my friends, we did a Plano rec league, and we were in the lowest league because there was like, I mean, nobody on the team had played basketball at like a high level at all. And I would say of like the 8 people on our roster, like only 2 even like played basketball with any regularity. So let me just say this. If I'm on a rec team and I'm like a top 3 player on the team, we're going to be fucking terrible. Like that's just the truth. And I'm not, I play my role well. I'm a role player, but if I'm a top 3 player, we're fucked straight up. So anyways, we did end up winning the championship, right? In that league. But by the end of the season, we had recruited, I want to say 3 college players, one of them being a D1 player. That was what was required to be competitive. And we won the championship game by a miracle. It was the lowest league, and it was apparent immediately that people were down there fucking around. Our first game we played in that league, we lost by, I think, 60 points. Opening tip, guy gets it. I'm not joking. Takes 1 step past the half-court line, drills a 3. I'm not joking. That was the first play I had of the season. I looked at the friend who told me to sign up. I said, fuck you. They're dunking and shit. Like it, but that's just that one league. I don't know if that's how it is everywhere, but I don't know if that's how it is everywhere, but yeah, the Rangers might be back. I was watching that game last night. Everything they hit was hard. Evan Carter looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Evan Carter's looked good lately. Yeah, it was PSA, Thomas. It was PSA. But I had a friend who said they were in an Allen league, and he told me they went 500. And just judging by their team, God bless the guy. But the team he told me they had, if they went 500, that could be the easiest league ever. Do you know I show Speed is a Mavs fan? Is that right? Just wait until Wyatt Langford gets going. We're going to be so cold. I mean, but they've done this recently, right? Like, they'll have games where you're like, oh, shit. Like, are they figuring something out? And then they'll get shut out. They'll score like 3 runs combined in their next 4 games. I will say this, and we were playing a game once at a PSA, and on the court next to us, it was the same league we were in. And I looked, and I knew the guy because I went to high school with him. There was an overseas player there who played in the G League. playing on the floor. It was just like kind of recently in the G League. Just like, man, what the fuck are we doing here? Guys, honest to God, you guys are some losers. All right, let's get started. Playing in the lowest league, yeah. Well, I'm assuming it's just like, hey, you want to come play with us tonight? Like, well, it's one of those things. But we ended up picking up this point guard who played D1. I think D1. Maybe it's D2 or D3. But D1, he's probably like 5'6", 5'7", seriously. And was genuinely the best basketball player I've ever seen. like seriously. He was unbelievable. But you want to know why we won that championship game? Remember what year was that? 2022, Game 7, Celtics Bucks. How many threes did Grant Williams hit? That was me in the championship game. We were down about 10, and me and another one of the bench guys went on just an unbelievable three-point heater. I watched my father get dunked on by an ex-G League player in the rec league. Sure, buddy. Hey, I wouldn't lie. I would not lie to you. I would lie to you guys, but I'm not in this instance. Good morning, folks. It is Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, 11:13 a.m. Central Standard Time. Folks, if you're listening to this on Spotify, I just have one request, is that you leave a 5-star review. Just because, we're so close. We are so close to overtaking Drake in monthly streams, and I would just love to get there. And we can get there with a 5-star review. So I would love that. I would love that so much. Thank you very, very much. Today, I was just saying this on stream. We're going to go over, some of this kid, Nick's coaching search. Like, what is going on there? I'm like genuinely a little bit confused as to what the fuck's happening. We're going to go over some of that stuff. And I've been grinding. I've been grinding on Fanspo. And this is kind of a misleading title because I said one draft night trade for each team. I concocted one, but it's really like the first 20 picks. And then I got bored. So the first 20 picks or so, I tried to make a trade for each pick that made sense to me, and maybe a trade that I hadn't heard talking about or haven't heard be tossed around too much. And we'll kind of go over them. Some of them are terrible, like full stop. And I just wanted to get some ideas out there, get some stuff flowing, and we'll look at some other stuff as well. I don't know. Is there any interesting Bleacher Report articles, ESPN articles? I don't know. There will be. I'm pretty sure there will be no slightly early on Friday. I have surgery tomorrow. For my broken ankle. It's quite tragic, really, what they say. It's so sad, but they're so good. These people, they're so good. They're the best in the business. I'll be better, back and better in no time. So we'll be probably no slightly early on Friday. But if I'm good and good to go, I'll be here. Make no mistake about it. And yeah, and there will definitely be no slightly early on Monday, as I have a post-op appointment. Okay, so just bear with me, folks. Just bear with me. I promise, guys. I'm trying my fucking best, man. Okay, let's get into it today. Let's go ahead and get started. Get ahead of the Chris Webber story before it gets forgotten. Chris Webber story. What did I miss with the Chris Webber situation? No, I'm not going on my trip anymore. Chris Webber. Okay, Chris Webber situation. Guys, just heads up. I have no clue what this is. It's a 2-minute Twitter video. I genuinely have no idea. What to expect here. We're going into this completely blind. The Chris Webber situation. Get ahead of it. Let's see.
What's up, party people? Man, the internet is undefeated, huh? That's why I'm going to give this friendly reminder to some of my friends out there that you can't believe everything you read, see, or hear on the internet. Especially when they're all lies. No proof, just made up lies. So I'm going to take this opportunity to issue my one and only advisory. If you have a platform and you have content with my name attached to lies,
Hey, Chris, someone told me to watch this, bro. I didn't know. I don't know. Someone told me to watch this.
take it down now. And to those that started the rumor, that started the lies and then continued to spread the lies, I dare you not to take it down.
What is he talking about? Did I miss something?
I dare you to repeat a lie.
I didn't lie.
You're not going to defame my name.
I didn't, dude.
Of course, the lawyers are in action.
What?
Of course,
Why?
the lawyers are.
Chris, I don't need this, man. I got my own medical bills. I don't need a lawyer fee. I didn't say anything. Someone told me to put your video up.
Motivated. But that's that.
Okay.
If anyone else that wants some insight and a story or some tools of how to get through the distractions,
Okay.
how to stay focused
I need that right now.
during the bull,
Yeah.
go get my book.
Okay. All right.
By God's grace.
All right. That's
By
enough.
God's grace.
That's enough.
By God's grace.
That's enough. Seriously?
It's crazy.
It is a little crazy. You're using this as a book tour
The enemy
opportunity.
wants us to be distracted, man.
A book tour opportunity?
Blinders on.
You're going to use my platform to advertise for your book?
Focus, man. Stay focused.
You stay focused. It's fucking ridiculous. What is he even talking about? What is he talking about? I don't understand. What is he talking about? This is a good example of what is commonly referred to as the Streisand effect. People in the comments, myself included, didn't hear about any of this shit. I still don't even know what it is. Chris Webber addressing the rumored allegation that DNA tests confirm Webber as the biological father of Chantel, Doug, and Jackie Christie's daughter. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Let's move on. And you want to know something? Of course, Doug Christie is Max Christie's father. In case you didn't know that as well. You want to know something? Even if this were a thing, I really don't fucking care at all. I don't care. Why do I care? I got a broken ankle. Why do I care about this? Cam Christie as well. That's right. I've got a broken ankle. Why am I supposed to care about this? Also, wait, what was the DeMarcus Cousins thing you guys wanted me to talk about? Oh, wait, I saw this. Yeah, this was actually a little bit crazy. What league is he playing at? BSN? What is that? Where is that? Puerto Rico? This was a little bit crazy, man. They were going after him. Chris Webber? Holy fuck. Hey. Ivani. Did you not just hear him? Chill out, bro. Chill out. Okay? Frisco Fieldhouse Rec League. Oh yeah. All right. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about let's get into the meat and potatoes here. So this saga has been just bizarre. The Jason Kidd saga has just been not just the Jason Kidd saga. That's not doing it justice. Really, the Knicks coaching search saga has just been very bizarre so far. First and foremost, firing Tom Thibodeau. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't really expecting them to do that once they made the conference finals, but it really didn't come as that much of a surprise to me. Especially the, following Knicks people and stuff on Twitter, like him getting fired felt like it very easily could have happened. So I'm not that surprised about it. But the follow-up to it, and maybe I'm just looking too deep into it, but it's been a little bit weird, right? There was this a lot of talk about Kidd, a lot of talk about Jason Kidd, and I'm not sure if it's just because Kidd's name was the one who got out and leaked, or if it was because like Kidd was at the top of their list. But they also reached out to Houston to try and get Ime Udoka, as well as Minnesota to try and get Chris Finch. And so far, all of the 3 franchises they've reached out to have said no to them. So Houston said no to Udoka, Minnesota to Finch, and Dallas now to Kidd officially. Hold on, I actually need to take this call. This call is actually important. This is my orthopedic doctor. So hold on a second, folks. Hold on a second. All right. Surgery scheduled. 7 a.m. tomorrow. $7 a.m. Shams update. I was watching you guys the whole time, bro. The whole time. No, she said just post midnight. I can't eat anything. No prep. I mean, I was there on Friday, so I mean, they already know what they need to do, so it's all good. No, for real, Shams update. I'm literally ESPN has Shams on right now. I was like, I live on the 3rd floor. Like, do you think I'll be able to come back to my apartment tomorrow? And she was like, how are you gonna get down? Which is a good question. We'll have to figure that out bright and early in the morning tomorrow. No late night gabagoo. Where's the gabagoo? All right, let's get back to what we were talking about. Wait, I'm behind on the lore. Why are you getting surgery? I broke my ankle and tore ligaments. It's bad. It's all bad. All right, hold on. I need to text people. Paul at the $5. They scheduled them early so they can finish and hit the golf course by lunch. Seriously, though, I'm truly sorry to hear your Europe trip got. That sucks. Thanks, Paul. And I know I'm a little bit worried because I'm pretty sure the doctor operating on me is a Pacers fan, is what he told me last time. So hopefully the Pacers do well tonight. Hopefully the Pacers do well tonight. You can just crawl on your hands and knees up and down the stairs. Fuck, man. I called my apartment complex yesterday. I was like, yo, any chance you guys have like a hidden elevator? Is there like a hidden elevator situation? You know, like you guys got like a freight elevator you don't want people to know about? He was like, no. Bro, arm's gonna be jacked as fuck once he switches to walking on his hands. Well, I've been getting around on this scooter here. I got an e-scooter and it hurt me the first day. Damn, that sucks, man. All of my shit is here. I'm not very mobile. It's not like I can just pick up and go. All of my shit's here. I saw that I'm doing connections. Can you give me a small hint on a group containing leprechaun? It's the most important meal of the day. How about that? All right, let's get back to our what we were doing here. All right, back from a very important call, Spotify people. That's just the business side of things. That's how we have to operate. So let's get back to what we were talking about with the Jason Kidd saga and the New York Knicks saga, New York Knicks head coaching search saga, if you will. So the firing of Tom Thibodeau. Let's just start from the beginning. The firing of Tom Thibodeau wasn't that surprising. I think I kind of felt as though getting to the conference finals was maybe enough to keep him safe and prolong his job, if you will. That it would give him the extension. You know, it's the best they've done in decades. So I thought he would have been safe. Then it came out that it was the player interviews and really just kind of the front office and decision makers felt as though it was time to move on from Tom Thibodeau. And we have seen this. This isn't like that rare for coaches to do well and then get fired. You know, of course, Mark Jackson is the go-to sort of example all the time with this stuff. That the whole sleeper notification. The Suns and Kevin Durant business partner Rich Kleiman are working through trade options. How many times am I going to get this notification? I mean, honest to God, how many fucking times am I going to get this notification? The exact one. Slightly overweight with no mobility now? No. I did some workouts yesterday. We're not going back to slightly fat ass. It ain't happening. So anyways, we see that Mark Jackson is the one that gets brought up all the time that, well, he did good with the Warriors and they were better than they were for decades and then they got fired and then they need a new coach. So this has happened. it does feel as though I don't think it was much of a secret that some of the players probably didn't like their Tom Thibodeau experience, right? That some people just didn't like their Tom Thibodeau experience. Mikal Bridges was pretty vocal about it. So anyways, the follow-up to this has been so bizarre to me. And maybe this is just more of a common thing than we know, and it just doesn't really leak out. But in this instance, it's leaked out. But the Knicks it was very well known, the Knicks have reached out to the Mavericks, or we're going to reach out to the Mavericks about Jason Kidd. There's been some reporting here and there that there's kind of some mutual interest. I think more New York Knicks beat reporters I've seen have said that there is kind of a mutual interest and Kidd would be interested, whereas the Mavs reporters, mainly Stein, have basically said, Stein has basically said he's not entirely sure that there's a mutual interest. He doesn't really feel as though Kidd is trying to be the Knicks coach, and that the Mavs are going to 100% say no to it, which according to Shams this morning, they have said no. Dallas gave a firm rejection. Knicks have been denied now on Kidd, Chris Finch, and Ime Udoka. So that's the interesting thing that I think we found out last night, was that they also reached out to Houston for Ime Udoka and to the Timberwolves for Chris Finch. So they're just asking anyone and everyone. You think the Bucks? You think the Bucks are sitting there like, they gotta call our phone? Hey, Knicks, we got Doc Rivers. Hey, Knicks, we got Doc. And the Knicks are like, that's Leon Rose. That's cool. That's great. We've got Doc Rivers. The Knicks get a call from Milwaukee. Oh, shit, guys. This is the honest call. Here we go. We've been prepping for this. How's it going? Hey. How about a couple second-round picks for Doc Rivers? Beep, beep, beep. That's how I imagine that going. Seems like Kidd would have to be the head speaking person for New York, not something he'd like, in my opinion. So this has all just been so interesting. I would like to know the pecking order for New York, right? And I'm also interested to know the behind-the-scenes stuff from this. Do teams get pissed off by this? Do teams get upset by this? Are teams annoyed by this? Do teams see like the Knicks calling them about their head coach that they currently have active, and they're like, dude, fuck you guys. Like, what are you talking about? Bucks would have to give up picks to get off of Doc Rivers. Oh, man. Look at all things Mavs. Recent report. Okay. The Mavs have, they've hired assistant coaches. The lead assistant coach, I forgot his name already. Remember, guys, I'm on, good, we don't have to get involved in this drama center in Miami or New York. Is this what I'm looking at? What am I looking at exactly? Mike Penberthy has been added to Jason Kidd's staff. They've done a good job with the assistant coaches, from what I can gather. Some of the assistants the Mavs have gotten so far have been some of the more well-respected assistants across the league. Now, I don't know, again, with the coaches and especially assistant coaches, the reality is we don't fucking know. You know? Like, we do not know. But it's a good sign when it's like, oh, this guy's very well-respected. Very well-respected. Jay Triano is another one. Very well-respected assistant coach across the league. Do we care? I mean, you want your coaching staff to be as good as possible, but there's really no way of knowing. I mean, this is why I don't go over shit like this usually, because it's just like, I don't know. Like, how am I supposed to know if Jay Triano's good? I'm not there. I'm not in the fucking locker room. Does this make Kidd mad at the Mavs? So I've seen. All right, so let me just step in, and I want to be careful here because I don't want to make it seem as though I'm, glazing the Mavs or defending them for everything that they do. But I've seen people upset about this. I've seen people very upset about this whole saga. It's just another part of the clown show. It's just another, and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, what exactly? I'm a little bit confused. What have they done wrong during this? I don't really understand what they've done wrong. Can someone explain to me why we're upset? The Knicks formally asked today, and they were told no. I don't really get what the The Knicks have, this was from Stein this morning. The Knicks have now formally requested permission to speak to Mavericks coach Jason Kidd, and the request was denied. They didn't shut it down immediately like the Rockets, but like they didn't get anything to shut down, I guess is my thing. The reports are that the Knicks were going to ask. The Mavs do move silently. That's just the truth. They do. They move quietly. Okay? I know we're like we're on edge about the front office and stuff like that. Like I get it. I'm with you guys 100%. But Pat McAfee in Pacers gear lifting up the NBA Finals trophy like that. Horrible omen. Horrible omen. But anyways, they do move silently. Like that doesn't surprise me that they didn't come out and were just like, yeah, it's not happening. And by the way, Stein was like reporting for like a week. Once this news came out, I was like, I don't think the Mavs will say yes. Like the Mavs are not going to say yes. So I don't really know. Like they move quietly and they haven't really had a chance to say no, if that makes sense. I don't feel like they did anything wrong here necessarily. Rob Burrows, don't know how much he's credible, said the Mavs have called Trailblazers about Anthony Simons. That doesn't surprise me that much. It's how the Mavs will always be treated since the trade. Unfortunately, that's where we are. No, I agree. And it's fair. It's fair. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think in this one, you think you could swallow a milk dud whole? How big is a milk dud? I mean, it's possible. In case of a choking situation, chocolate does melt. So just wait it out a little bit. Moving silence like lasagna. That's right. Real G's moving silence like lasagna. Speaking of that, man, tough one for our guy Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, in my opinion, is the greatest of all time. That's a toughie. No two ways around it. What is the Luka trade equivalent if we traded Kidd? The Luka trade equivalent if we traded Kidd. I don't think there is one for trading a coach. I thought they would ask next week after the Cooper Flag meeting, waiting to see how Jay Kidd would view him. Well, and then all the reports, I don't know if this was Stein, but I did see reports as well that Kidd's been at all of the workouts, Kidd's been at draft workouts, Kidd's been at the free agent camps that the Mavs have had. Like, nothing has felt as though Kidd was going to leave. And I don't know, what could the Mavs have done differently, I guess. I did think it was interesting. My ears did perk up at this. Like, what is the Knicks? The Knicks are going to ask about Jason Kidd. I was just kind of like, all right, that's really interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's going to go, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, and I feel like the Knicks wouldn't do this whole thing if they didn't feel as though there was maybe a chance. But now the fact that they've asked about Finch and Udoka just kind of has me like, okay, maybe there's just nothing there. Just a whole bizarre thing. Is there like any tweets about like who's next in line for the candidates? I see so many Knicks fans saying Johnny Bryant, and there's connections there. Johnny Bryant was a finalist for the Suns job. Like he seems like one of these assistants across the league that is like going to get a head coaching job some in the near future. But I don't know if I've seen anything that says the Knicks are like interviewing him unless I've missed it. Yeah, and I was. So yesterday I was scheduled to meet with Leon Rose and the Knicks brass and just kind of go over some stuff. But of course, my ankle situation, I can't fly. So that kind of was a problem there. Then they said, don't worry, we'll come to you. And I said, guys, just sort of respect my space on this. I just kind of just need some time to chill and think about my future. And just sort of let me get through this surgery and stuff, and then we'll see. And they understood that. So, so that's kind of what the problem was there. They don't want a scooter on the sideline. Well, it's not necessarily that. I mean, they said that they would completely and totally refit the sideline to make sure that I was as mobile as possible. And granted, by the time the season starts, I'll be back and walking. But just, for summer league and stuff, because that's the type of head coach I'd be. I'd coach summer league as well. I'd also coach summer league. But they just kind of said, I just didn't want them to go through that. They're talking about $1 million to $3 million investment right there, just in the mobility piece. That's not even accounting my salary. Finch did have a scooter on the sideline, yes, when he tore his ACL. Yes. So I'm just so. It's just a little confusing, and maybe this is something that happens more often than we know, where teams with vacant coaching jobs reach out to other teams, and maybe we just don't. Maybe we just don't know. This is a very good Centel tweet. The Bucks have the Bucks gave the Knicks permission to speak with Darvin Ham and included cash considerations. New York declined. Oh, it's funny that Darvin Ham is still a joke. So what's next for them? I searched Knicks just to hopefully get a. We have Tom Thibodeau's brother Dennis, born a Knicks fan, raised a Knicks in a Knicks home. You dreamed of being a Knick. Celtics may target success, but that never mattered to you. You demanded accountability from the top down. Oh, critics, not Celtics. I was about to say, what do they have to do with this? You made countless sacrifices to enrich others. You stood in front of the bus, often alone, to protect ownership, management, and your players. Damn! You squeezed every ounce of energy from yourself to be the best coach you could be. No one can question your status as a championship caliber coach because everything you did defined what it means to be a champion. Congratulations, Tom, on your Knicks tenure. It's disappointing to see it in this way. No one knows what the future holds for the Knicks, but what's certain is that no one will ever pour more into the role than you did. For the fans, for the city, for the organization, and for your players. Wow. Sticking up for your brothers. You love to see that. James L. Edwards does write for the Knicks. Story soon, but I've gathered Brown and Jenkins as two names to watch. I know Twitter loves a certain former assistant coach. We've got no indications there he'll be the next coach. Maybe he gets an interview, though. He's talking about Johnny Bryant. So Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins, I'm assuming, that's the Jenkins. All right. So it feels like they're going the more established route. That seems to be what we're doing for the Knicks here. The Knicks want a more established head coach. They don't want to do the assistant coach. They don't want to go the assistant coach route. I mean, we'll see. I'll continue this. My stance on head coaches and new head coaches will continue to be this. It still is this. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, we don't know, right? Like everyone just immediately assumed Kidd was going to be an absolute disaster for the Mavs, right? And I think by and large, he's done a really good job. He's done a really, really good job. And I don't think it's, this is now the fourth team that we know of that really wanted Jason Kidd to be their head coach. The Nets did. Then the Bucks wanted to trade for him. Then the Mavs signed him. And now the Knicks are wanting to presumably trade for him. So he's done a good job. You just don't know with coaches, man. You really don't. Everyone thought Monty Williams was a great addition for the Pistons, and he was fucking terrible. Like, you just don't know. And I remember Bickerstaff even. People were like, Bickerstaff, like the Cavs fired him, and now the Pistons, and he was incredible. You really don't know. Feels weird we haven't heard any news on teams wanting Taylor Jenkins yet. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just heard word that the Knicks aren't interested in him. So we'll see how this all... It's an interesting strat to go after the already hired coaches. I always love seeing my own tweets whenever I search up things. Just like, God, that guy had a really good take. And then I look at it and it's me and I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. As reported, New York will have to pay $60 million to Tibbs for not coaching. I doubt they will give a similar contract to the next guy, but that's how all these teams are. Aren't the Suns paying like 5 coaches right now? Aren't the Suns paying like 5 different coaches? Oh, they've got Jeff Teague on oh my God. I took a pain medicine, guys, and I'm forgetting Pat McAfee's name. Yikes. Crazy kid went from spilling drinks on the sideline to teams trying to snatch him from us. Well, that was low key a 200 IQ play. Like the funny thing about that, hilarious. With Redfin. Oh my God, my brain. Hold on. Let me lock in and focus. The hilarious thing about that saga was that was actually a smart coaching decision. It's just true. It was. It worked too. They got a free timeout out of it, and they didn't get a technical or anything for it, did they? I don't know. So, anyways, this saga has, I'm assuming, come to its conclusion officially. I wasn't really that worried, but my ears did perk up. Some of the same folks knocking the Knicks for not immediately hiring a coach after firing Tibbs would have knocked the Knicks if they hired a coach immediately after firing Tibbs. I mean, who's knocking them for not having a coach already? This is how the process goes for everyone. You don't get a coach immediately. It's a hiring process. I think people are probably knocking him because it does feel weird and from what we understand, sort of unprecedented to go after coaches that are currently on teams. And not only that, right? It would be one thing. It would be one thing if it were, I'm just trying to think of a situation. Like, I would actually understand if it came out that they went to the Heat and to Spoelstra and were like, hey, are you guys just kind of like, things have gotten weird. You guys are heading in an interesting direction. Like, is there maybe a chance you guys, might depart and go your separate ways? Like, that would actually kind of make some sense for me. Or like Nurse in the last year of Toronto, where it was like kind of clear this thing was reaching its endpoint. But to go after, 3 pretty solid situations, I would say. Like, think about what you want about Kidd. He's solid in Dallas. They're not going to fire him. Like, Ime in Houston? Like, that's a crazy one to go after. Like, there's no world in which the Rockets are like, yeah, let's get rid of Ime. The reason they're getting criticized is because they didn't have a plan. They essentially broke up with their wife and started hitting on all the other friends' wives. Yeah, but maybe that was their plan, though. Maybe that was their plan. Where does Tibbs go? I think he's probably done, huh? I think he's probably done. He's probably, I think he's a little bit older than you might think. And you guys know my stance on Kidd. I think he's done a good job. I do think he's a good head coach. And I think the Mavs losing him would be bad. And everyone, and let me say, yes, in fairy tale La La Land, where it's like, oh, this could kickstart a rebuild and we'll tear it down. One, I'm really not all that interested in a rebuild. If a team blew you away with an offer for AD and some of your other guys, okay, that's different. But when you don't own your own picks for 5 straight years, the idea of a rebuild is insane. I keep seeing people like, well, you need to get pieces to build next to Cooper Flag. And it's like, mid to late lottery picks that you get in trades for these guys? Like, that's what you're going to build alongside Flag? You're going to be fucking terrible forever, right? At least in this circumstance, you'll be competitive right now. And I think that's a good situation for Cooper Flag to find himself in. And then I keep seeing people who are like, well, they don't have a guard. Like, they don't have a guard right now. How is that a good situation for Flag? And it's like, okay, how would tearing it down be a good situation for him? I really don't get it. Who's the young guard out there you're going to go get? Like, at least there's Kyrie here when he comes back, and they'll go get a guard in free agency or the trade market. Like, who's the young guard you're bringing in that's going to help Cooper Flag develop? Who's going to be that guy? Who's available? You're going to take a risk on an 18th overall pick? I think people are living in La La Land. One, Kidd leaving would not kickstart a rebuild at all. It would just be bad. The Mavs would be without a coach and scrambling to find one. That would be it. That would be the end of it. That would be what happens. Okay, it wouldn't be this fairy tale. Well, now they get the rebuild. No. That's not what would happen. Okay, so there's no point of even really talking about it. Great job and great coach. Kidd commands the locker room well. Yeah, I mean, all the guys like him. I mean, that's like 90% of the battle when you're a head coach in the NBA. Like, that's just the truth. Do you watch the Game Theory Mavericks offseason preview? No. I think it comes to professional athletes. There's not much basketball-wise a coach does. It's more about keeping a locker room and locked in and on board, which clearly Kid could do. Yeah, I mean, and it's also just like your coaching staff. I mean, the coaching staff comes up with game plans and stuff like that. Of course, there goes that being said. But again, that's a coaching staff thing. It's not just the head coach. And yeah, it is. You're just managing egos, and that's really it for all sports, I think. I think football is really the one where it's just like the coaching staff matters the most in football. We agree on that, right? I mean, they call plays every single play. They call a play. What do we think about the Thunder being 5.5 point favorites, or 5.5? Yeah, 5.5 point favorites tonight. I'm gonna be real. That feels. I'm interested to see how tonight goes. Not big enough. That's kind of how I feel. Just looked at the slightly big board for the Wemby draft. Oh, yeah. It was terrible. Yeah, it was awful. Let's see. Let's go back and look at it. We had Wemby, Scoot, Jarris Walker. There's still time there. Brandon Miller, Kobe Buffkin. Hell yeah. Anthony Black, Hayes Wallace, the Thompson twins. This is why I don't. And by the way, whenever I did this, I was openly stating time and time again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just doing this for fun. Okay? Hey, I was much lower on Cam Whitmore than everyone else. So that I ended up being right about that. Oh, Leonard Miller. Whatever happened to him? Yeah, I had Omax ahead of Derek Lively. That was a miss. That was a miss. Yeah, I'm in at 8. But I was just like, I don't. And he's proven me wrong. Both of them have proven me wrong. Because I just thought to myself, there's no way anyone who shoots as poorly as these two do can be like that high impact of a player. Well, they've managed to do it. They've managed to do it. Jarris Walker. I fucking loved Jarris Walker. I think I had a minute too. Well, what did our mock draft ended up being really weird. Our community mock ended up being very weird. Oh wait, we didn't have it saved? Oh, that's trash. So here's our community mock draft last year. We had Sar going 1, Rishishay 2, Bazulis 3. All right. Ron Holland 4, Kling Kong 5th. I mean, that was Reed Shepard 6, Cody Williams 7th. Ooh, that you're 5. Whoever was the Portland Trailblazers GM, you've been fired. Castle at 10. What great value for Utah. What great value. God, look at this draft last year. It was just so bizarre. Oh, this was a good trade right here. I think I was the Mavs GM. So the Mavs moved up to the 31st overall pick. Raptors received no picks. The fuck were we doing? What were we doing? I was drafting for the Spurs in this one. Ron Holland. Let me see if I can find our community draft from then. It's got to be in here, right? Slightly big board. Oh, wait, this was my big board from last year. I actually did one. I didn't think I looked at the draft last year at all. Let's see. I had Sar number 1, Reed Shepard number 2. I had Klingon 3, Dillingham 4, Rishishay 5, Steph Castle 6. I didn't think I looked at it, but now I'm remembering I did. I did have him. Was 13? All right, 13 was a little above consensus for McCain. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. Could go to the stream for 2023. I don't feel like going through all of that. I think we did that recently, didn't we? Let me see. I kind of want to look back at our old mock trades. This is from a year ago. So these were some of our old mock trades. Hardy and the 60th overall pick to move up to 32nd. What is this huge? Oh, this was 3 weeks ago. I was about to say, what the fuck? Caruso trade. Well, thank God we didn't trade this pick. 2025 first round pick of Josh Green for Caruso. Thank God that trade didn't happen. Portland move up. Oh, this had to be some Bleacher Report thing where they were like, "How can you do like second round stuff?" And I'm like, the Mavs had like the 50th overall pick. And I'm like, fuck. Wiggins trade Maxey into cap space. So the Mavs get Wiggins. Warriors get Timmy. Jazz got Maxey Kleber in 2 seconds. Why the fuck would the Jazz have done that? Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green in 3 seconds for DeAndre Hunter. I'm happy we got Ajinka TBH. I think he'll develop well in a few years. I'm not expecting a singular thing out of him. Is there less draft buzz this year, or do I not notice it because my team is in the finals? It's because your team's in the finals. Absolutely. Last year, I didn't even... So last year, the NBA finals ended, and I remember immediately being like, oh my God, the draft's in 4 days? Like, that's how it happened last year. It was like, I don't know anything. The draft is like in tomorrow, and I don't know shit. So that's why. Like, you're feeling that way because your team's made it this far, which congratulations. It's a great thing. All right. So we often react to like Bleacher Report articles, ESPN articles, and so on and so forth. Today I decided, yesterday I was just fucking around with Fanspo, just making trades. And I decided, what would be a fun idea? Because all of the reports, Shams has said it, Wendy has said it, all the reports have been that the draft's going to be crazy. That it's most of the movement, especially big movement this offseason is going to happen around the draft. So I decided, what would be kind of a fun exercise is let's go through each pick in the first round and try to make a trade centered around it. Now, I didn't do that. I got to 20. So the first 20 picks or so to try and figure out, what each pick trade could look like. And this does include the first overall pick. So I tried to get creative. I tried to think of trades that maybe haven't been thought of yet. Although at this point in time, the way that it is now, everyone thinks of every trade, right? There's a mock trade for every scenario that you can think of out there somewhere. And I decided, let's just do it and try to have some fun with it. And of course, some of these are lopsided. Some of these are terrible. Some of these probably don't work. Just full disclosure, I'm just kind of fucking around and just seeing the general idea of something. These teams are smart. They're creative. They can make things happen when they don't seem possible. Financially is what I'm saying. So let's get down to business. Would you ever eat gum off the street if you need a sweet treat? First overall pick. I thought of a trade for the first overall pick. What is a trade that I can't see the Mavs trading the first overall pick, but what's a trade that if they decided to do it, I could see happening? We could do the Giannis shit. This one to me feels more likely. And again, I'm not saying the Mavs need to do this. I'm saying this would be the trade that would make some sense to me. If the Spurs looked at their situation and said, fuck it, man. We got all these picks. We don't need another guard. Cooper Flag is the final piece of the puzzle for us. Let's do whatever we can to move up. And in this scenario, the Mavs are like, man, we really need a guard. Like, and maybe they've done their assessment and they're like, we don't think Harper's that far away from Flag. Although I don't think that's true, and I don't think anyone would come to that conclusion. But we don't think Harper's that far away from Flag. Like, maybe we can extract a ton of value out of this. And in this situation, it's the Mavs trade from 1 to 2. So they just moved back to the second overall pick while also getting Atlanta's 14th overall pick this year, which the Spurs have, obviously, a future Atlanta pick in 2027, and they get their swap back in 2030. So they get control of their pick back in 2030. Again, this wouldn't happen. I would be upset because I just think Flag's in a class of his own. I would be upset if the Mavs went this route personally. But if it were reported tomorrow, like I think I've said this before, if Mark Stein came out and said, this package is on the table, the Spurs have offered this to the Mavericks, I would sleep a little uneasy at night. I would sleep a little uneasy at night thinking that, damn, that's kind of a lot. That's kind of a lot. What do you think about Gaff for Lonzo and pick 12? Fuck yeah, I would do that. Is that something that is even possible? Castle too. See, I think you're probably asking for too much at that point, honestly. But hey, I would ask, sure. All right, so this was my number 1 overall pick one. Again, I don't think it's gonna happen. Spurs number 2. So we've done the Giannis thing. It does sound like the Spurs are gonna get KD at this point, but I tried to go a little bit more creative with this one. What's another player out there? What about the Jaylen Brown stuff's interesting because it's just like Boston people who probably know some things are just like, hey, Jaylen Brown might get traded. Enough that it's somewhat interesting. What if the Spurs say, we want Jaylen Brown? We want Jaylen Brown. What do you guys think of this trade? Is this worth it? Where are we at? The Nets are involved in this. The Celtics, I don't think, would be all that interested in Devin Vassell or Keldon Johnson or whoever else. Could there be a situation where stuff is rerouted to Brooklyn and the Celtics can get Claxton and the second overall pick for Jaylen Brown, I think that'd be, if they are going to trade Jaylen Brown, I think that'd be a pretty fucking good return. Is this too expensive for the Spurs? I kind of feel like Jaylen Brown's value across the league is probably higher than you would think. So if the Spurs are print the jerseys for KD, does that mean Giannis isn't moving? They seem like the most likely place for Giannis, so why wouldn't they just get him instead of KD? It does not sound like Giannis is getting traded. They could use Vassell if they trade Brown. I kind of think Vassell's in the... If I'm a team like Boston and my main goal is to save money, I'm really not that interested in Devin Vassell whatsoever. At least Claxton fills a need for me at the center spot, especially if I do end up trading KP as well. Gives them the hard cap. Gives them a cap ceiling, don't you think? What, with Jaylen Brown? This feels like the Spurs are getting scammed. He gave up something similar for Flag. Yeah, but Jaylen Brown's kind of an established all-star level player. It is expensive, but they have a lot to give up. I don't, like, player-wise, they're not giving up much. But the second overall pick, 14th overall pick in a draft where, like, after it does kind of sound, and I haven't really looked into it yet, but it does kind of sound like the mid to late lottery is just kind of weird. And then a future first. Nets are getting a lot here. Yeah, I mean, this is so for the Nets, it does feel like they're getting a ton of return, but you are giving up Claxton, who I think would get you a first just by himself. And also you're absorbing contracts to help facilitate this trade. So them getting two firsts makes sense to me. And one of them being a 14th overall pick, which I think you're underselling Vassell a lot. Listen. My community here can vouch for me. I've been a Vassell truther for his whole career. How many times have I think I've picked Devin Vassell for most improved player in the past, but I've also just been like many a times been like, hey man, Vassell most improved. I think he's just entering a weird spot. He struggles to stay on the court. He's wildly inconsistent. He might just be who he is at this point. Like, that's just the truth. And I love him a lot. And I do think there's a lot of upside there. It's not like he's a negative contract, right? But I don't think he's like the Celtics. I don't think would be all that interested in paying Devin Vassell $27 million for 4 years when they're trying to save money. That makes sense. So I thought about this. Well, I also thought about this trade in the way that it's like, could they do this and get KD? And I don't think that was possible. It's really hard with the contracts. Just got my hat, Sally. Thank you, kind sir. Love to hear that. Yeah, there's well-respected draft people have said outside the top two, where it's Flags in a tier of his own and then Harper's in a tier of his own. And then it is just kind of like up in the air. So let's get to the rest. The top two picks aren't changing teams. This was just kind of fun to fuck around, but the top two picks aren't getting traded. It sounds like every other pick's on the table, especially the third overall pick. And I tried to do something that hasn't been talked about a ton. But the third overall pick in trades has just been talked about to death at this point. So it was hard to think of a scenario that hasn't been said already. How about this one? This one does kind of make some sense to me. It says failed. There's ways that this trade could be made to happen. All right, so I know it says failed. Get off my back. But what about the framework of something like this, where the Nets absorb Paul George's dog shit contract, but get the third overall pick in return, and the Sixers move down 5 spots, but also get Cam Johnson? So the idea here would be maybe the Sixers just aren't in love with somebody third overall, and they kind of they're okay with dropping in the draft if it means getting off the Paul George contract and getting a really good player in Cam Johnson in return. And the Nets' perspective would be, we love somebody third overall, whether that's Ace Bailey, whether that's Edgecombe, whether that's Trey Johnson, whoever it might be, right? And we want to move up and get him. And I don't give a fuck. We'll take on Paul George's contract. Let's just do it. Who cares? Right? Paul George, we'll let him go out and do his thing, and maybe he plays really well, and maybe a desperate team comes in and wants to trade for him. We can get off that contract and maybe flip him for something. What do you guys think about this one? Who says no in this scenario? Who would say no? It really just kind of depends on how these teams feel about the draft. If the Sixers like somebody, they wouldn't do this. I love this for Brooklyn, but don't see Philly giving up this quick on Paul George. I would kind of agree with you if there wasn't like also a good player coming back in return in the form of Cam Johnson. I think if a team was willing to take Paul George's contract, they would do it. That contract is terrible. I think you rip the Band-Aid off now. Don't think the Nets do it unless they love someone. Yeah, that's what it comes down to is like, in any team moving up, they'd have to love someone. Don't you feel obligated running back with George? If I was in charge, fuck no. I don't feel obligated to do anything. Let's reframe this. I have been hired as the GM of all of these teams now. Every team we talk about, I've been hired as a GM. Let's step in and try to get a trade. And the owner has said, we need to trade our pick. For whatever reason, like, we need to trade our pick. Getting off Paul George, priority numero uno, if I can do that with this pick. And also get something in return. I'll call teams about Embiid too. I'm tearing this shit to the ground. So anyways, I thought this one was kind of interesting. And I've seen iterations of this. 4th overall pick. Some of these are just straight up trade ups and trade downs. 4th overall pick is the Charlotte Hornets scenario where maybe they don't like someone. I try to think of some, like player trades so they can actually try and be competitive for once, but I don't know what the fuck they do. Let's just say the Hornets don't love somebody here. The reports are the Pelicans want to trade up. So the 7th overall pick and a future first. Indy's first next year, which probably isn't going to be very good. To move up 3 spots, that feels like fair value, right? It kind of seems like what the price is to move up around this area. I challenge myself to try and do one for every pick. And there's just some picks where it's like, I don't know, a trade up. There's not a lot of players. All right, Utah. What if Utah just says, fuck it? We're tired of just like not having a lot to get excited about. We need a guard, a point guard. I know they have Collier and I know they have Keontae George, so maybe they wouldn't do something like this. But what if they were just like, fuck it? Let's go get Trae Young. If Trae Young were available, let's go get him. Who says no to this? I think I say no if I'm the Hawks. I need more firsts, right? I absolutely need more firsts. Utah should do the Paul George deal. Jazz are in the AJ sweepstakes. They don't do it. But hey, what if teams decide, you know what? What if teams decide one of the things we've learned is that tanking's off the table. Tanking is off the table completely. Teams finally stopped taking after the last 2 lotteries. Like, yeah, what if they say, you know what? We can get Trae Young and it's for decent value for us. Like, let's just do it. Fuck tanking. This shit doesn't work. And it's not like getting Trae Young for them makes them like good immediately. I don't know. I think both teams say no to this one, actually. I think both teams say no to this pretty easily. I don't think the Jazz would be all that interested in doing this, and I don't think this is anywhere near enough for Trae. But I wanted to do something somewhat creative here. All right, 6th overall pick. How about another trade? How about the Wizards? All right, for the Sixers. What if the Sixers don't love someone at 3, and what if the Wizards feel aggressive? Is this fair value, you think? I think it is. If you're the Sixers and you're just like, hey, there's like 4 guys we like. We're cool with moving down. If the Wizards really want someone, 6 and 18, go get your guy. Sixers get 2 first-round picks in the top 20. Feels like pretty good value. That seems fine to me. You think this is enough to move up to 3? Do you think if this were on the table, another team swoops in and offers more for 3? What do you guys think? It's a mystery. Could the Wizards... I kind of like this for a team like Washington. right? Like, yeah, you're a young team. You just want to accumulate as much young assets as possible. Having 2 top 18 picks is nice. But if you like somebody enough, use these picks to move up and get them. And then if you're the Sixers and it's like, we'll just take 2 top 18 guys. We're an older roster. We're going to be really expensive. Like this makes sense for us. There's a lot of ace dropping talks. I don't think the Sixers are particularly interested. It seems like no one knows what the fuck the Sixers are going to do. 7th overall. All right, how about this one? What do you guys think about this? What if the Spurs do decide we're going to trade number 2 for a player, but it's not going to be some huge home run swing? Let's say they go get KD and they still decide we want to still boost our team and we want to be competitive now. And we don't want this backcourt log jam. And we also maybe we're not that sold on Dylan Harper, whatever the case may be. Trey Murphy and the Pelicans' 7th overall pick for Keldon Johnson in the 2nd overall pick. Who says no? I think the Spurs do. But I think there's a chance the Pelicans also say no. I have a hard time gauging Trey Murphy's value. I feel like Trey Murphy is... Pelicans might view him as like a Mikal Bridges type of return. Is that crazy to think about? I think they might think of him as like, we need to be getting 4 or 5 picks in return for this. Like, they might think, if we're going to do this trade, we're not including our 7th overall pick. We're not going to include our 7th overall pick. We'll do it for the 2nd overall pick, but we're not giving you 7 too. Yeah, it's crazy. Pels would love having Harper as a center piece to rebuild, in my opinion. Yeah, and that's kind of... So, all right. I was wondering this, and let me know what you guys think. The Mikal Bridges gets traded for 5 first-round picks. If you were a team like Brooklyn, or in this scenario like the Pelicans, would you rather just have the 5 first-round picks? Here you go. Maybe you get lucky with a few of them. Or would you rather just have the 1 top 2, top 3 pick? Like, would you rather just have the guaranteed top 2, top 3 pick, or would you rather have 5 picks? I think I'd rather have the guarantee. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the number 2 overall pick than 5. If you were to go back in time, like let's say Mikal Bridges were still on the Nets and he was going to get traded this year, and the Knicks offered 5 first-round picks to you, but the Spurs came with the 2nd overall pick. I think you're taking the 2nd overall pick, right? Like, you're getting your guy. 5 first-round picks so I can have more movable assets. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one to think about. This one's more interesting. This one's just an interesting conversation starter. I do think the Pels would say yes to this. Right? I mean, they'd have to. Right? I would love Trey Murphy on the Spurs. I think that'd be an incredible fit. Trey Murphy's an incredible fit everywhere, though, to be fair. All right, Brooklyn, they have the 8th overall pick. Again, I did another trade down. This time they trade down with the Wizards. 6. The Nets get the 6th overall pick. The Wizards get the 8th pick and the 26th pick. I mean, I don't know. Again, I tried to challenge myself to do one trade for every team. Some of these would be trade-ups. This feels like fair enough value to move up a couple spots. The Nets have, I think, 4 picks in the top. Do the Nets have 4 first-round picks? I believe it's 4 first-round picks and like 5 top 35 picks. So they're going to do something, the Nets. They'll do some type of trade. They'll probably package some picks to move up or whatever the case may be. Maybe even trade out of a pick entirely to get future stuff. But there's just no need to have that many picks. No need. How about this Toronto? I tried to think of something aggressive for Toronto because they are reportedly wanting to make a big swing. Thunder are going to have something with their picks soon, right? I've got the Thunder coming up. The Raptors reportedly want to make a big swing. I don't know why, but okay, fine. Too much for KD? Is it? I agree with you. I don't know what Katie's value is. But I think I actually think the Raptors would probably do this. Katie's value is so low because he's old. He's an expiring contract. Like, you're gonna have to pay him. He's kind of a flight risk. If, like, he goes to a place he doesn't want to go to. RJ, who's been good for them, and Pirtle, who's good as well, and the 9th overall pick, as well as 2 swaps. Is that too much? You just take the swaps out entirely? Take out 9 and I do this? I think I'd take out the swaps if I were Toronto. Take the swaps out. Let's just do 9. And the Nets are getting a 9th overall pick for Cam Johnson. The Suns are getting Cam. I mean, this is actually an incredible return. This is an incredible return for Phoenix. If they could turn Kevin Durant into like Cam Johnson and Jakob Poeltl, I mean, that's an incredible get for them. I'm not sure what the Raptors do this for, though. The more I'm looking at it, I'm not gonna lie. I originally had a Jaren Jackson Jr. trade, but none of it made sense. None of it made sense. Katie, Scotty, and Bey on the same team is something. All right, so I tried to let's talk through a potential Jaren Jackson Jr. trade for the Raptors. If the Grizzlies were to be like, "Fuck, man, we don't want to pay Jaren that," and the Raptors said, "Don't worry, we'll take him off your hands," Scotty would have to be in the trade, right? That was my hang up. Scotty Barnes would have to be in a Jaren Jackson Jr. trade. No questions asked, right? I couldn't think of what else would even interest the Grizzlies enough in that scenario. For those on Spotify, the trade that I have here is the Raptors get Kevin Durant, the Nets get RJ Barrett in the 9th overall pick in this draft, and the Suns get Cam Johnson, Jakob Poeltl, and 2 swaps with the Raptors. Maybe you could take those swaps out. I'm really interested to see what Kevin Durant's return ends up being. We did the Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, in the 14th overall pick. And that might be it. Like, that might just be it. Who's the 10th overall pick? Houston. Okay, let me know what you guys think about this one. This one I found interesting. So, Jabari Smith Jr., I like him quite a bit. His role in this Rockets team seems in flux to the point where they're going to have to pay him soon, and I don't know what that situation is going to look like. So him being traded makes sense to me. They also have so much depth and young pieces that, I don't know, I could see them trading the 10th overall pick 100%. Now, we've seen, you might think about this and be like, well, what do the Rockets need more like defenders and wing defenders? They need like shot creation. But we've seen, it's a copycat league. We know that. We've seen the Thunder improve an area of strength for them, which is defense by going out and getting Caruso. And that was kind of like, oh my God, the Thunder have Caruso now? Like, what the fuck? They don't even need Caruso. Because the Rockets followed that line of thinking. Jabari Smith Jr., Aaron Holiday, and the 10th overall pick to the Pelicans for Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado. Who says no to this? I think both teams are interested. Now, unless the scenario where I could see this, a scenario in which I could see this maybe not playing out is if the Rockets are like, actually, we really like Jabari. Well, we know we haven't used him right, but we're gonna change that. The thing is, the Thunder have that guy on offense. Rockets don't. Yeah, but they could they could still make other trades though. They have so many assets. Like, they could do this as well as something else, if that makes sense. I agree with what you're saying though. I don't think the gap in value between Jabari and Herb is that big. I think Herb is more valuable. Plus, he has that extra year. $14 million is just a steal of a fucking contract for Herb. And again, you're getting a premier, and don't sleep on Jose Alvarado in this deal. Like, Jose Alvarado is a valuable player as well. Like, Jose Alvarado has very positive trade value, I'd say. Durant to the Clips for Powell, Bogey, Dunn, and change. I mean, that would be interesting. Won't Pels want more? Yeah, that was the thing I didn't know. What's like it? It's funny because I saw a trade very similar to this by a Rockets fan that included Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy, they'll want more, 100%. Herb Jones missed most of last year with an injury. I don't know. Think Pels say no, Rockets do it. This would be an interesting one. I like it for the Rockets. I would do it 100% if I were them. What's the 11th overall pick? Is this another? Oh shit! I tried to have some that were pretty fun. How about a Portland moves up to number 3? I tried to have some fun with some of these. Portland moves up to the 3rd overall pick. Absorb Paul George's contract. Get Kelly Oubre. This is a big 4-teamer. The Sixers are getting Anthony Simons, which I'm not so sure with McCain and Maxey, but they're getting Anthony Simons, Rui Hachimura, good player, Jared Vanderbilt, and the 11th overall pick this year. The Lakers are involved in this trade, and they're getting Ayton and Lonzo, and the Bulls are getting Maxey and a few second-round picks to take on Maxey's contract and for Lonzo. Who is saying no? Again, in this scenario, we just have to believe that maybe the Sixers don't love a guy at 3, and the Blazers love a guy at 3. That's what would have to be what happens. The Lakers, for the Lakers side of this, yes, solving your center crisis with Ayton would be a disappointment. No two ways around it. But there could be some value in this being like hey, we've done our due diligence. We've done our due diligence on some of these trades and some of these centers, and we're not going to get one. And we're not giving up really anything here. Maxey is fine. We get off Vanderbilt's contract, fine. Rui hurts. Losing Rui sucks. But it's 1 year of Ayton. He's better than any other option we have. And we're also getting Lonzo, which addresses an area of need for us as well, which is a kind of a point of attack perimeter guy. And let's just hope he's healthy. So again, we're not really giving up much. I wouldn't mind this if I were the Lakers. I don't know. I don't know the financials of this, if this even makes sense for them. Because they are going to have to pay LeBron and stuff. I don't know if this is possible. So who says no, you think? Who says no? I kind of have a hard time. We have to pretend that Portland loves a guy at 3 and the Sixers don't really want a guy at 3. The Lakers? Yeah, I mean, this would be like a Lakers sort of saying, hey, there's not a realistic center for us to go get, and we do not want to trade a ton of our assets. And they could look at this. Another way to look at this is that's $35 million expiring at the deadline in the form of Ayton that could be very valuable if you were to make a big swing at the trade deadline. I got $35 million contract right here that's expiring. I don't think they want to take on the Ayton contract, given the fact he's not as good as he used to be. It's only a year left on the Ayton deal. So it gives you that. It also provides you cap flexibility next year as well. Because you're going to have to pay Reeves. And you'll want, if LeBron retires or stuff, you'll have some room to move around in free agency. Claxton's multiple years. I'm just trying to think of some of the centers they've been rumored to. If you go out and get a Gafford, the idea is you'd be paying him. Ayton could just be a stopgap. We've tried everything else, and this is just what we get. It's better than nothing. And maybe it's just a 1 year playing next to Luka. Maybe we get the most out of him. I kind of feel like I cooked with this one. Honest to God, I think the Sixers are the team that would not do this. I think the Sixers say no. Because look at what they're getting. Basically, the entire purpose of this trade for them, and I'm looking at this right now, and I think it's actually fucking terrible for the Sixers. The only thing they're really getting out of this is getting off of Paul George's albatross contract. Because with McCain and Maxey, do you need Anthony Simons? Where does he fit into this equation for you? Maybe try to flip Anthony Simons then. Maybe we add the Magic into this trade. And now the Magic are getting Anthony Simons and you're getting something from them. Rui would be nice for the Sixers, and he kind of fits an area of need for them. JJ commits a Poku at the first. Yeah, JJ would hate DeAndre Ayton. Anyway, this is I wanted to do like a big one. How about this one? Chicago finally says, fuck this. Let's do something fun. And they get Zion. And I tried to make this work. I think this is kind of an interesting one. So the Pelicans say we're done with the Zion situation. Now, it's not going to happen, right? Because it's already been reported that they're going to hold on to Zion. He was at their draft lottery. Like, they're not trading him. Is that the smart decision? You know, I'm not so sure, to be honest with you, if that's the smart choice. If it were possible for them to get off of Zion and get some real return, I think they should do it. I think just blindly committing to it is a stupid decision. But let's just say I'm hired as a GM now, and I'm saying, listen, we need to get the fuck out of the Zion business. Like, we need to get out of it. The Bulls get Zion. The Pelicans get Kyle Kuzma from the Bucks. Bear with me. Kobe White, the 12th overall pick, 2027 first from the Bucks, and a 2031 top 10 protected pick from the Bucks. Milwaukee in this trade gets Vucevic. So Milwaukee's getting off the Kuzma deal, which fucking such a bad trade. And they are giving up a future first, but they're getting a center. I'm assuming Brook Lopez is leaving. You're getting a center in Vucevic, who the floor spacing next to Giannis. I mean, we see what he looks like with centers who can shoot. I think this is an interesting trade. I think it's a good return for the Pelicans. I think it's a desperation move for the Bulls for sure. But the Pelicans are getting like Kobe White, an interesting guard, a few first. You're out of the Zion business. And the Bucks are getting an upgraded center while getting off the Kuzma deal. An upgraded center. But they're addressing, again, this is assuming that Zion stays. Or not Zion, sorry. This is assuming that unless they get another ticket selling star, they ain't trading Zion. I mean, are they selling a lot of tickets? Like, no offense. Are they selling a lot of tickets right now? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are. Year 7 was Zion playing 0 minutes in the playoffs. I know. Like, this just like blind commitment they have to him right now makes no sense to me at all. It's like, yeah, he's here. Like, we're not trading him. It's like, okay, why? I don't understand this logic at all from New Orleans. I don't understand it one bit. Wasn't it like $20 to go to a Pelicans game? Yeah, it is very cheap. But that's not, I don't think we should shit on teams for that. I think this one's kind of cooking. All right, how about this one? This one I actually thought. So Atlanta has one of the interesting wrinkles of this draft process is Atlanta because they have trade exceptions that they need to use. So they can absorb contracts with nothing going out in return. How about this trade? I thought about what are some of the players the Hawks need? They could go out and get a center. Really, they need just more defensive-minded players, I think, to plug alongside. I think they've made their decision on what they're going to be as a team. And that's, we're going to surround Trey next to just defensive players. Like all guys who can defend next to Trey. What about a trade like this? PJ Washington goes to Atlanta. They absorb him in one of their trade exceptions, and the Mavericks get the 13th overall pick. Now, there's been reports from Stein that the Mavs don't want to trade Gafford or PJ, which makes sense. But if you decide we're not going to be able to pay these guys, and this were on the table for you, I think you'd seriously have to consider it. I don't know who's going to be at 13. It's more so you're giving yourself another lottery pick. And also, like, you're just kind of resetting the payment thing. Had to be during draft. The Mavs like someone during pick 12. What would it take for it to be Gaff instead of PJ? I mean, the Hawks also have a pick in the 20s. Which we've done before. I thought this was interesting. And again, I hate doing this because it's like, I'm not advocating for these guys to get traded. I want to be very clear about that. Last pick of the lottery, 14th overall, Spurs. Let's say, I think this pick is probably going in a KD trade, guaranteed. But let's say the KD trade falls through, or they make it happen with other pieces, and this is still something that's available to them. How about Harrison Barnes and the 14th overall pick for Cam Johnson? Would the Nets want more for that? Is that a fair return for Brooklyn? Because it's not like Harrison Barnes is a scrub. Like you could probably flip Harrison Barnes somewhere. Not enough. I think the Nets would have to be eyeing somebody here. Because again, the problem with a trade like this, is Brooklyn already has so many firsts. So I think something like this would have to be them getting like the 14th overall pick from the Spurs and then them using that to move up. So it'd have to be a part of other moves for them, if that makes sense. Because they're not going to be drafting all these guys in the first round. This would, I think, give them 5 first-round picks, which is just absurd. But I like the idea of Cam Johnson on the Spurs. And it kind of fits. It makes some sense. All right, this next one. All right, let me just say this. I do think... Yeah, my idea behind this trade is this would be a precursor of other moves for Brooklyn. How many players will the Nets have under contract? Yeah, they don't have a lot of guys under. Right now, they have 9 standard contracts. This next trade. I have a feeling in my stomach something like this is going to happen. I just have a feeling in my stomach. And it might not necessarily be this exact move, but I cannot help but feel like something like this is going to happen. And it's going to be a very similar situation of the 2018 offseason when the Warriors got DeMarcus Cousins. And we say to ourselves, what the fuck are we doing? What's the point of even playing the games? Now, of course, that team didn't win the championship. But similar situation. I think there's a world where the Thunder... I think there's a world where the Thunder are aggressive this offseason, even if they win the finals. What if the Thunder made a play for Trey Murphy? What if the Thunder look at their finals run, even if they win it, and say, man, we had too many stretches where we could not shoot. We had too many stretches where we couldn't shoot, and we need to find like a knockdown 3-point shooter. Like, we need to find that. We need to add that. Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, the 15th overall pick, Phillies first next year, Clippers swap in 2027 to the Pelicans for Trey Murphy. I could easily see something like this happening. Now, Trey Murphy's on a very friendly deal. $25 million for 4 years. The Thunder do have just some interesting cap stuff, right? They do have some interesting cap stuff. You got Chet, J-Dub, Shea. All these guys are going to be making a ton of money in the near future. You do have Hartenstein at $30 million, but he's going to be off the books in a couple years. It's just, I wanted to do something like this just to show this is possible. This is possible. Something like this could easily happen. Something like this could easily happen. In fact, it really might. The Thunder might look at it and be like, dude, fuck. Like, we've seen this. Look, we know firsthand, windows are never open as long as you think. Like, let's just make it to where we're going to win the next 3 championships. And then whatever happens after that, we'll figure it out. We've managed to build such a good situation for ourselves that, you know, we could weather any storm, really. This would be insane. Well, the 15th overall pick is not enough to get Trey Murphy, which is why you're throwing other stuff. And also, Joe and Wiggins are good players on good deals. I think they could do something like this. Now, history shows us they probably won't. They like having these picks. They like drafting guys in hopes that, they can just, guys who want more money can just leave and they can replace them. Wonder if they keep Topic around. I think they are going to keep Topic around. And what was the last trade? Honestly, I don't remember. Oh, Orlando gets Sexton. This was the last one I had. It got difficult at this point. So in this scenario, Jazz are getting the 16th overall pick, absorbing KCP's deal. Magic get Colin Sexton. What do you think about this? I think both teams would probably say yes to this, right? Like maybe the Jazz would want something more for. I just can't imagine you're getting that much more for Sexton. The Jazz need a guard. Sexton or the Magic need a guard. Sexton kind of fits a lot of what they need, and also you're getting off of KCP's contract at the same time. Like I think this makes sense for both parties. I think this makes sense for both teams. You have to find situations like this because I really don't think in a vacuum, I really don't know if I'd want to trade the 16th overall pick for Sexton. But if I'm also getting off of KCP in the process, it does make some sense for me. So that was all the trades I ended up coming up with. I thought I got to 20. I guess I didn't. This was a fun little exercise. Because it's interesting. After you get, like, the top 2 picks are not getting traded. After that, it seems very likely that, like, it got to the point where I was looking at every pick. I was like, this pick could get traded. Every single pick, I was like, they might trade this pick. They might trade this pick. And then I got to where I was like, they probably will trade this pick for every single one, which obviously isn't going to happen. But it does seem like not only have we gotten reports that the draft's going to be crazy, but if you just look at it and what the team needs are, we are kind of reaching that point where these teams have been stockpiling picks for so long that you're starting to see it where teams have like 3, 4 picks, 5 picks in like the top 40. And it's like, this team can't do, like, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's crazy they gave KCP $20 million a year. Jesus. I like the Thunder trade. Telling you, they could do some shit like this, man. And it would just be like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Wait, what? They got Trey Murphy? No, KCP is washed, 100%. So let's recap all of these. I did the first 16 picks I made mock trades for. Mavs, trade down with the Spurs, get future picks in return, get the 2nd overall pick. Not happening, but it's the Giannis thing's off the table. It's the only like trade for the number 1 overall pick I've seen tossed around, even just as a mock trade, that hasn't made me want to jump off a bridge. Now, I'd still be upset because I want Cooper Flag badly. But I think I could at least talk myself into the idea of this. The Spurs, we've heard their name with the 2nd overall pick tossed for Giannis and stuff. It doesn't sound like Giannis is getting moved. I thought, what about Jaylen Brown? So I had the Spurs trading Jaylen Brown and stuff for the 2nd overall pick. Celtics getting Nick Claxton from the Nets. Pieces moving around. What about Cam Johnson and the 8th overall pick to the Nets for Paul George, the 3rd overall pick? I'm not going through all of these, but it was a fun exercise. I love doing shit like this. What about PJ Washington for KCP in 16? Mavs can't do that. How many hours of torture would you have to go through to eat beans on toast from the UK? I mean, beans on toast doesn't like taste bad. It's not good. It's not like it tastes terrible, but it doesn't taste good. Let's see this. How do I close? Oh, that's good. That's good. This just crashed on me. Beans and fries isn't bad either. I mean, it's just like, all right, Opera, I gave you a chance, man, and now you're starting to piss me off. Good afternoon, Demon. Your streams are clutch while I'm at work. Love to hear that. We got a couple articles. Should we look at these? Ranking the 5 NBA teams with best trade assets. Are the Thunder still going to be number 1? They have no outgoing first round picks either. Unbelievable. I'm telling you guys, I can feel it in my bones. They'll do something aggressive. I can feel it in my bones. Buy or sell. The latest trade rumors. This is by Bleacher Report. Giannis Antetokounmpo not seeking a change of scenery. Let me just say this. I think it's a buy. I buy it. I believe it. The reason why I say that is that our guy 3Cone? The reason why I say that is I can't help but feel as though we would already know. I just can't help but feel like we would already know that Giannis wants a trade. The draft is coming up. It's so soon. What are we, 2 weeks from tomorrow, right? Is the draft. And again, if I'm the Bucks, I need picks in this draft. I need high picks in this draft. I need to know. I need to know who I'm drafting, where I'm drafting, all of this shit. What you think about the Boogie Cousins shit? I mean, I don't really have an opinion. Not good. I didn't really follow up on what happened or who said what, but Giannis is waiting on the Kessler Edwards sweepstakes before making a decision. Man. Like, I get that. But the reality is it's like, who can afford Kessler Edwards and Giannis? The Nets? I don't know. That's just a long waiting game. If I'm the Bucks, I can't wait to see where Kessler Edwards goes. I have to make a move now. So I am buying that he's not getting traded, which is definitely surprising to me. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if like Giannis and his brain's like, we can do this. Like, we can do this. And then come February when they're like 3 games over 500 or they're 500 and Kyle Kuzma is their second leading scorer, then Giannis looks at it and he's like, fuck. Can't believe I didn't ask out. Fuck. Handful of suitors for Kevin Durant. I mean, I buy this. The thing about KD is like, his value does seem low. And because of that, I think there's a lot of teams that can convince themselves that, hell yeah, if we're not having to give up 5 first-round picks to get Kevin Durant, then let's do it. If I'm Minnesota, let's do it. Can I package Randall and something else to make this happen? If I'm the Nuggets, can I like sweep in here somehow and make this happen? If I'm, a team like the Rockets, a team like the Spurs, any of these young teams that have assets, like why the fuck not? I don't really get it. I don't get why the Rockets wouldn't at least like make an offer, even if you get told no. I kind of like Rudy and Dante for KD. I saw that. Rudy Gobert for KD. And then what? You bring back Naz Reid? So Naz Reid's going to be your starting center? I just saw a post saying there was a report the Knicks will still pursue Kidd even if the Mavs denied the request. See, Popper, a Knicks journalist reported it. At what point are you not violating NBA rules? You want to know something, Mavs? It's time to stick up for yourself. I said earlier, I don't get why people are upset by the Mavs, but if that's true, Mavs, stick up for yourselves. You don't have to do it publicly, but privately, text the Knicks, suck my dick, and then get the NBA involved. The Rockets had the same offer as the Spurs, but the Suns are stingy about having more of their picks back. I mean, Bill Simmons made this point, and God, it does. The smoke is so heavy. It's like, do we think that this trade, like this is almost a done deal? Like KD will be on the Spurs? That might be that, and that might be where we're at. Easy buy. If anything, it's surprising to hear that number isn't higher. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just you're not going to give up 5 first-round picks for him, so pretty much every team should be interested. Darius Garland up for grabs. I tried to sneak in some Garland trades into the exercise we just did. I tried to get Minnesota. I tried to get Minnesota involved for a Garland trade. I just could never figure one out. I think Minnesota's where I ended off my exercise because I could not figure one out, and I just quit. Buy or sell. I mean, I'm assuming I'll buy it in the sense that, yeah, Garland's not untouchable for them. If there was like a chance to, if the Magic were like, dude, we're so fucking desperate for a guard, we'll trade Franz. They would never do that, and they should never do that. That would be unbelievably stupid of them. But if that were the case, then yeah, you trade him. Yeah, you trade him. But I tried to think of like some Timberwolves trades, and it's hard to imagine a scenario where they're getting like really fair value in return. KD for Garland. I even thought of like a complicated 3-team trade where maybe KD goes to the Cavs. Didn't really make sense. It was really hard to do financially. NBA Central bomb. I mean, NBA Central's an aggregator, so who are they aggregating? Oh my God. Twitter doesn't pop up anymore when I type that in. I have to type in X. NBA Central bomb. The Dunk Central. Golden State Warriors are a team to watch for Bobby Portis. Okay. So Garland up for grabs. But I don't think I'll sell on the Cavs like shopping him. How about that? I buy that if a team blew him away, they would trade him, but I doubt that they're just like shopping him. Partial sell if the Cavs can fetch a king's ransom. And this guy's fucking watching my stream. He's watching my stream and typing it out live. Knicks focusing coaching search on Jason Kidd. Well, I'm going to buy this because that's what everyone says. Where was the report that they're still going after Kidd? What was the guy's name? Steve Popper? Is that a real person? Am I getting got? Steve Popper. Okay. By the way, while the coaching search is on, hearing from league source that despite reports and his all-time greatness, Knicks are not one of the teams in Durant. Stein knows the Mavs better than anyone. Interestingly, I've heard that despite this roadblock coming, some of the Knicks organizations believe the first no is not the end of the pursuit of Kidd. Adam Silver, get involved and punish them. I'm tired of the Knicks and their mischievous, evil, and frankly insulting tampering practices. Straight up. I'm tired of it. Punish them. Fuck you. That's what I would say. Fuck you. Punish them. What are you going to do? You're going to hire Jason Kidd's dad to join your coaching staff? Is that what you're going to do now? Hire a Jason Kidd relative into the front office? Is that your next play? Be on the lookout. Hearing the Knicks are nearing hiring a Jason Kidd family member for a front office role. They going for Jason Kidd's nephew? The fuck out of here. Celtics shopping Drew Holiday. I mean, easiest buy of all time. Like, of course they are. Like, what? Yes, finding. I tried to have some Drew Holiday trades in here as well. I really don't think they get a first for Drew Holiday. I cannot imagine, right? Like, surely a team's not giving up a first for Drew Holiday. Surely not. I think it kind of makes more sense later in the draft if there's like a veteran team where it kind of makes sense contractually to do something. And you can give up like a late first in this draft for it. But even then, it's just like a team giving up a first for Drew Holiday while also giving the Celtics salary cap relief is throwing them such a massive bomb. I mean, you're bailing out the Celtics. You are bailing them out. It would be a huge win for them. If they don't have to give up an asset to get off of Drew, and they get an asset and get him off the books and free up some money, he's still definitely a useful player. Yeah, if Drew is making $12 million or something, it's a different story. But he's definitely taken a step back. That much is not up for debate. He's absolutely taken a step back. And then above that, above all, he's making $35 million for the next 2 years, 3 years. And he's 36. Mavs fans who blame Kidd for every loss must be confused watching another team try to poach him. Yeah, I mean, there's just a certain type of fan that I'm just happy I don't have to I'm happy I don't have to deal with anymore. I'll just say that. Drew being guaranteed 35 for 3 years is what makes him undesirable. Yeah. If Drew were, again, expiring, yeah, for sure. I absolutely think a first. I absolutely think a first would be on the table. 100% if Drew were expiring. Because I still think even a step slower, he's still a very yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Mason. I'm not saying Drew sucks. I'm not saying that at all. Still a very valuable player. Still will help a team win. It's just $35 million for 3 years. Man, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. You know, that's just it. That's what the problem is, really. God, it's going to be so interesting this offseason. So interesting. I mean, it's going to be insane. I just can't. Even if Giannis doesn't get traded, I think it's going to be a crazy-ass offseason. Kidd might be the best coach. Might be the best coach possible to develop Cooper on ball like he did for Giannis and Brunson. Man, I had this Twitter debate with someone, or not really a debate, just like a one tweet thing. Someone was like, Kidd can't develop young players. And I'm like, based on what? One, a young Giannis loved Jason Kidd. I don't know who you attribute Brunson's blossoming into, but I mean, the year that got him paid was under Jason Kidd. All right, like Luka, I don't know how much help Luka needed, but Luka did develop. I don't know. I don't know how much help Luka needed. Not to say like I think any coach could have developed Luka, but Luka got better. Derek Lively was a starting caliber center on a finals team. I think this is a problem with fans and how fans talk about like he didn't develop young players, and it's like who? Omax? Guess what? Omax might not be an NBA player. That's it. He didn't develop Josh Green. Josh Green might just not be a high contributing NBA player. Like, not every young guy is like a hidden star that's just waiting to be unlocked. Like, some young guys just don't have it. Some young guys are just not NBA players for one reason or another. It's like not a young player not blossoming isn't a failure. It's just sometimes it doesn't happen. Luka developed a gut. Well, did you not see the latest workout videos where he's doing squats? Guys, I don't know if you knew this or not. There was a video going around of Luka doing squats. It's the first time, and this is, I double checked and triple checked, and this is true. I asked a bunch of sources. It's the first time an NBA player has ever worked out. Did you guys know that? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, I think all this shit is just so infantilizing, man. Like, I don't. it makes me feel sorry for him. It really does. I think it's terrible. People are criticizing Anna Marie for posting strawberries and lettuce. I know. Like, this is embarrassing. You are in a roundabout way embarrassing him. Please stop. I wonder if they know this. Like, this whole, and first and foremost, I never partaked in this because it's fucking stupid, and I still won't partake in it. I'm not taking shots at anybody because I never did it. Okay? And I always said it was stupid. But do you not feel like you guys are almost in a roundabout way proving some of the criticisms right by talking about how great it is that he's working out in the offseason? Like, guys, he's in the fucking NBA and he's a professional athlete. And I promise you guys this, he always works out. So I hated the like, oh my God, he's running upstairs video. It's like, I bet, yes, he's in the fucking NBA. Like, even guys, when it says like, oh, Luka doesn't work out a lot, still works out more than anyone else because he's in the NBA. It's his job. Like, I don't. It's like when I remember there was a video of Steph Curry deadlifting and it was like a stupid amount of weights. And it's like, why is that? These guys work out for a living. Why is it surprising when NBA players are lifting heavy weights or NFL players? It's like, this NFL player squatted X amount of pounds. It's like, he squats for a living. It is impressive, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I mean, they do this every day. They get paid to do it. I don't understand. Luka Weight Watching vids or Ben Simmons 3-point shooting vid? I mean, the Ben Simmons 3 is definitely worse than the Luka Weight Watchers. The Luka Weight Watchers is just embarrassing for him. Like, I think it defeats the purpose. I wish people would stop. Okay? Luka went to the restroom. Yeah, what's next? Analyzing his bowel movements. It's like, this is the sign. Like, Luka's going 3 times a day. It doesn't appear to be liquid. Like, it's a sign of a healthy diet. Like, is that what's fucking next? Honest to God, is that what's next? Like, guys, I can confirm, like, it's healthy. The morning poop was healthy, guys. Sally just mad he can't work out for a couple months. I am, genuinely. Are you gonna poop before or after your surgery? Good question. I did ask. I was like, so do you think I can get up my stairs? I'm on the 3rd flight of stairs. And she was like, just letting you know, like, you're a fall risk. So have you shaved your legs for the surgery? I was not told that was necessary. I'm in a cast. Like, Jesus, man. What is this tweet? Oh my God. And now the Lucas stands are going after Kyrie. Their true colors have come out. Full stop. I mean, they were always out. I won't say what I want to say about a large portion of those people that I've seen on Twitter from a certain community. I mean, there's like just straight up open, insane racism. Like, insane. That one Jokic compilation. Well, that's honestly, though, the people who tweet that, I don't even think are basketball fans. As opposed to the sane racism. True. Amon Shumpert's a courtside reporter now? So I have a bone to pick right now. I'm watching SportsCenter. They've got the three-man thing going on. Amon Shumpert, Brian Windhorst, and the main guy at the SportsCenter desk. Amon Shumpert and Brian Windhorst are in the same building. There's different angles of their shot courtside in Indiana. Could you not just put them fucking together? Could they not just stand next to each other? Game Theory presented the question of what a Kyrie extension looks like. I'm thinking if he were to be offered 135, I would say 120. That was something I think Stein might have mentioned today. That makes sense to me. 120, $40 million a year. It's not the max. You're making $40 million. Coming off an ACL injury and such, like, that sounds right to me. 120. Let's make it happen. $120. You're not going to get that anywhere else. Like Stein said, Mavs want around 120, and I think that's fair. I think that's completely fair. I don't think that's disrespectful or anything either. Like that's one of those. If that's what the Mavs offer and it comes out, Kyrie said no, and then that made him mad, and he wants out, then I would be like, you know what? I mean that sucks, but that was a fair offer. I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Yeah, I'm gonna be live tonight. Yesterday I got my VR headset out. Because you want to know what I thought? I was like, I'm going to do like a driving game in the VR headset just so I can experience being out in the fucking world again. Mind you, it hasn't even been a week. So God knows what I'm going to be like 4 weeks from now. When it's like, I've been outside 3 times in the last month. All I got from this was that my VR headset was, I honest to God think, the biggest waste of money on like a sizable purchase I've ever had. I think my VR headset was the biggest waste of money I've ever done. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I wouldn't. Is it possible to stream yourself in VR? I don't know. Put this bad boy on. Are you excited for Superman? Sure. Never really been a Superman guy, but, you know, sure. I'll watch it for sure. It comes out the day before my birthday. Which I'll still be in a fucking cast. Outside 3 times in a month sounds like a retina simulator. Yeah. Did you ever play Walkabout Mini Golf? Is that a VR thing or is that a real life thing? Like the mini golf that I've ever played putt-putt? Or is that a VR game? I played the golf game on VR and it was pretty fun. But now the thing is like sitting. Now I have to sit. So how many games can I play just sitting? Like most of them are fun standing up. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'll be live tonight for the game. And then, 24 hours from now, I will be completing, like, my surgery will be done. And the lady said, she was like, you might not remember a single thing tomorrow. And I was like, oh, great. Let me just say, as a former degenerate drinker who with a drinking problem, it's not something I want to hear. Have you ever played the game where you drive as fast as you... Okay, message retracted as I was reading it. Play roller coaster VR. I did do like a motorbike game. I never had any problems with VR in terms of nausea, but I did play a motorbike BMX game, and I thought I was I didn't even really understand the nausea thing. Honestly, I was just like, how do you get nauseous on VR? I'm not joking. I started to go, and I thought I was about to projectile vomit. Like, it was immediately. It was just like, I was like, all right, holy shit, my stomach is killing me right now. It's really weird how that works. It's really weird and bizarre. I had pretty bad nausea with Starfield, not even VR related. Really? That's interesting. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm a little bit nervous about tomorrow. Just straight up, a little bit nervous. Just a little nervous. It's normal. You know, it's normal to be a little anxious. You got this? Hell yeah. I'm more so like I'm wanting to fast forward to Monday. I want to be done with my post-op. I want to have my cast on. I just want to be like, all right, this is my situation for the next 3 weeks. Like, I don't like the surgery and then I got to go back and I got to, like, I just want it to be done. Don't be able to go well and then quickly. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not like scared. I'm not like, oh my God, I can't. It's just like, you know, it sucks. Like, I'm going to have a fucking surgery done on me. They're going to cut me open. The anesthesia always has me nervous when it puts on my face. I mean, yeah, anything like that's nerve-wracking. And it's also, too, like, it'd be one thing if it's just like I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Getting around sucks. Like, getting around right now is fucking, it sucks. It sucks. So I'm more, like, honestly, more than the surgery, I'm dreading getting my ass down the stairs, getting the surgery done, maneuvering around after it. Use Sharpie marker and circle the ankle that you're doing surgery on. Yeah, I'll do that. Like a YouTube thumbnail with arrows pointing towards it. It's like, you guys know you're doing the ankle, right? You guys know it's the ankle. Do I know the surgery? Yeah, I mean, they told me what it would be. They said it was super easy. It's only 2 hours. And I think they even said it'd probably be a little bit less than that. And I'll be out of there by 11, is what they said. Get there at 7, do the pre-stuff. You know, wake up after, a little bit drowsy for a bit, and then home. Let's take a home. Home is wherever I'm with you. And I would love to find a way tomorrow to be able to hop my way up this fucking stairs. I just don't know. It's a fluid situation. Everything's in flux. Everything's up in the air. What time's the game tonight? 7 or 7:30? All right. All right, folks, thank you all for tuning in. All the OGs, guys, I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys won't regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously and it makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday morning. I'll talk to you all tonight. The stream. If you don't like hanging out during the live streams for the games, there's a chance I talk to you guys Friday. There's a chance I talk to you guys on Friday. For slightly early, but I'd say it's more likely we won't have a slightly early episode until next Wednesday, honestly, a week from today, or Tuesday. We might do Tuesday. Trying to think, because the trade deadline for like weeks leading up to it, we streamed every day. We might do something like that once the off season gets here, something similar to that. Because again, I'll be fucking sitting around doing nothing. So yeah. All right, love you guys. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.